Okay, so we're going to go through the right hand rule practice today. So first thing, let's remind everybody what everything is. There's the curved one, that's where your thumb is the current, and your fingers the magnetic field. And just some advice for this, easiest way to do this is have your fingers at approximately like a right angle. So like that. Does that make sense? And one other thing is that your thumb, like if there's a wire or something, your thumb is the wire. So if you're looking for like on top or bottom of the wire, like that would be on top, that would be the magnetic field on the bottom. So fingers the magnetic field, thumb is the current. Other one, you have your hand flat. In this one, your thumb is the magnetic field, or your thumb is the current, fingers are the magnetic field, and palm is the direction of the force points. So thumb current, fingers magnetic field,
So it's the same as the first
force is palm.
Both the force.
And if it's a, so this is for current or a positive charge moving. So if either you have a current or a positive charge is moving in a direction, it's right hand. Anybody know what it is for a negative charge? Left hand. So right hand positive, left hand negative. Okay, let's look at number one here. So I'm going to turn my paper around here and try to like face the same direction you guys are, so we can all kind of be on the same page. See what I did there? Okay. So number one says, find the direction of the force on a proton moving through the magnetic field as shown above. Okay. So what direction is is it positive or negative? So right or left hand?
Right.
Positive, so right hand. So proton's moving this way, so thumb that way. Do the X's mean into or out of the page? Into. X's mean into the page, so that's B is magnetic field. So the magnetic field is into the page, so fingers should be pointing down into the page. And the force then is our palm, so it's pointing toward the top of the page.
Would it be like this?
It depends on if you're holding. So if you're holding it flat on the table, it should be like this. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
So what you can do for this one is just draw an arrow toward the top of the page and label it F. Does that make sense? So you could say north would be acceptable, top of the page would be acceptable. Okay. Number two. Find the direction of the force a proton moving through the magnetic field shown of force on the proton moving through the magnetic field shown above. Okay. Which hand? Right. Are dots into or out of the page?
Out.
Out of the page. So proton's moving this way. And magnetic field is out of the page. So is it toward the top or bottom of the page for the force? Top of the page. So just draw an arrow toward the top of the page. And label it force again. Do you guys have any questions on these so far? Okay. Abby?
When we're moving our hands and stuff, we're always gonna do it like toward the page, or like how we did it on the board. Now it's just like
Yeah, it's just into the page or out of the page instead of into the board or out of the board. Okay. Number three. Find the direction of the force on an electron moving through the magnetic field shown above. Okay, so which hand? Left because it's an electron. Everybody got your left hand. Chloe, that's your right. Oh, you're doing it next one. Okay, so thumb goes toward the top of the page. So not out of the page, toward the top. Magnetic field goes to the right. So fingers go to the right. And your palm is pointing into or out of the page. Out of the page. So that's the answer for that one. Okay, number four. This one we have a negative charge moving through a magnetic field. The charge is moving out of the page and the force is going up. And we're looking for what direction the magnetic field is. So it's a negative charge, so which hand?
left.
Left. And the charge is moving out of the page. This is why I had to have it be over here too. Left hand. Charge is moving out of the page. The force is going toward the top of the page, so our palm needs to be pointed toward the top of the page.
Circle with a dot.
Circle with a dot means out.
I thought that was closed out too.
Ah, my hand.
Anything with a dot means going out of the page. So in this case, guys, instead of the magnetic field going out of the page, it's the actual particle going out of the page. So that's why we have our thumb out of the page. And the force is going toward the top of the page, And is the magnetic field going to the left or to the right? Left. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. So like that. Because the force is going up, so it's your palm going up. Alright. Now, we're going to be doing some without pictures.
Oh, jeez.
It's actually, I think it's easier without the picture. There's something that works out kind of well about our classroom, but it doesn't really matter if it was with this or not. North, it's actually approximately north in real life. South, east, west. Why don't you guys, on the top of your page, write north, south, east, west. Just so you have an idea of what's going on. Okay, another important thing is the sky is up, the ground is down. Look over there, the sky is not north, as certain people in my AP Physics class thought. Braden Hyde. Okay. So, up, down, north, south, east, west. Okay. So, number 5. A proton moves east through a magnetic field pointed south. What is the direction, I should say, what is the direction the force on the proton experiences? There's another mistake like that. It's always whatever the first one is. I messed up like 2 problems like that. Okay, let me go through it. Alright, so a proton moves east, so it's right hand. And thumb should be pointed east. And experiences, and the magnetic field is pointed south. So you need your fingers pointed south. So it's going to look like that.
Move your hand. Move it. Kind of bend over, actually. Bend down. There you go.
There you go.
So it should look like that.
Swag.
You guys can move it if you need
Yeah,
to.
We got it.
Okay. So the force on this one should be down for number 5. Anybody have any questions on that one? Okay.
What was wrong?
Yeah.
Never mind.
No, on
I thought they said something was wrong.
Now it's right.
right. Number the proton moves east, so your thumb should be pointed east. And number 5. And the magnetic field south, so your finger should be south.
Yeah.
Yes. The force in the proton experiences is down. Okay. Number 6. A proton moves through a magnetic field pointed east and experiences a force south. In what direction is the proton moving? So in this one it says magnetic field's pointed east. So fingers east. And experiences a force to the south. So what should be pointed south? Palm. So palm should be pointed to the south, and the proton is moving down. How are you guys feeling?
Not good.
Not good?
So you can't say yesterday. Yeah. So can you say down or south?
You know, it has to be down because south is there. That's down.
So is down your thumb and the other fingers are north, south, east, or west?
No. Okay. Shh, guys, quiet. So, first thing, north, south, east, and west have nothing to do with like what your fingers are pointing. So it has to, like whatever way the magnetic field is going, your fingers have to point that way. Whatever direction the particle is moving, your thumb has to point that way. Whatever way the force is, your palm has to point that way. So like, up or down does not have anything to do with your fingers. The difference between your palm is the force it's going to experience. Your thumb is the direction it's moving initially. Does that make sense? So the force is going to change its motion, but
So when asked the direction of the thumb, we say down.
if it
When
asks,
do we say down or up?
when we say down or up is if what it's asking for is pointed down or up. So if it's asking for force and your palm's pointed down, then you'd say down. If it's asking for force and your palm's pointed up, then you'd say up.
So can we just like have a little compass and move that around instead of like getting hand cramps trying to...
If you want to create a little device that you can manipulate around, that's fine. Okay,
That'll move.
alright. Number 7. We're on number 7, correct?
Yeah,
Alright.
indeed.
A proton moves up. So our thumb's going to be pointed up. and experiences a magnetic force to the south. So what points south?
The finger.
Home.
Magnetic force. Palm points south. Okay, so we have up.
The force is the fingers.
So
Whoa.
force
wait.
is your palm.
What? Where are you going?
Sorry, guys.
Got you.
Okay. So protons moving up. Palm is pointed south. What direction is the magnetic field?
West.
West. Okay. Any questions on that one?
How's that work?
Do you guys want me to do 7 again?
Yes.
Okay. So it's moving up. It's a proton, so it's our right hand, and experiences a force to the south. So our palm needs to be pointing to the south. So our palm is force. And then what directions are our fingers pointing? West. Okay. We're gonna keep going through it until you guys get it. All right. Number 8. This time it's an electron, and it's moving up in a magnetic field pointing to the south and looking for the force. So which hand do we use?
East.
Left hand. Okay. So it moves up, so our thumb goes up, and experiences a magnetic force to the east. So we point our palm to the east. What direction is the magnetic field going?
Wait, are we on 8?
The answer.
Did I?
It's magnetic field's pointing
Oh, okay,
south.
sorry. Up, magnetic field's pointing south. I read the wrong one. I apologize. So number 8, moving up, magnetic field's pointing south. What direction is the force?
West.
West. So it should look like this.
Why did I get these? Oh, cute.
Kyra.
Okay. Any questions on that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, not
Let me
really.
run through it again. Okay. All right. We're on number 10 now.
Wait, how's 8 not east?
Nope, 9.
9. How is 8 not east?
Yeah.
Okay, so it moves up. Magnetic field's pointed south. So your palm is pointing to the west.
I did down as south and not south as south.
Okay. Number 9. An electron moves through a magnetic field pointed to west. So this means the magnetic field is pointed to the west and experiences a force to the south. What direction is the electron moving? Okay. Magnetic field is pointed west. What do we point west? Fingers, palm, or thumb? Fingers. So we're going to point our fingers to the west and experiences a force to the south. So what points south?
Your palm.
Palm. So what direction is it moving?
Down.
Down to your thumb. Okay. Number 10.
Into this stuff.
A proton moves up and experiences a magnetic force east. What is the direction of the magnetic field? So which hand this time?
Right.
Right hand. And the proton's moving up, so what goes up?
Thumb.
Thumb. So thumb goes up. Magnetic force to the east. So force is to the east. So what direction? Your palm points east. And what direction is the magnetic field?
South.
South.
Yay.
Okay. You guys feeling a little bit better on those?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, now we're going to do the curly one. Okay. So remember, your thumb is like the wire. So if we're looking at for the south, it'd be like where your fingers are doing on this side. Okay, number 11 says, a wire carries a current to the south. So we point our thumb to the south. So, not down, Michael. South.
Oh.
Is it always your right hand for this?
Always your right hand for these. Okay, current to the south. What is the direction of the magnetic field on the east side of the wire? So what are your fingers doing on the east side? Up. So magnetic field is up on the east side.
So you don't.
Does that make
Are
sense?
these either going to be up or down? The answers.
Not necessarily.
No. Okay.
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 Everybody understand why, like, if the wire is here, this is the east side, and the current's pointing south.
Yes.
What's
So if you keep your hand like this, you can just move it around and it'll tell you what direction is what. Okay, number 12. A wire carries a current to the east. On what side of the wire is the magnetic field down? So point your thumb to the east.
South.
And which side is it? And if you have your hand like this, your fingers are pointing down. Which side of the wire are your fingers pointing down on? South. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Number 13. A wire carries a current to the west. What is the direction of the magnetic field on the top side of the wire? So point your thumb west, and then above your thumb, what are your fingers doing? Where are they pointing? north. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, I don't
It's moving.
Wouldn't it
So,
just always be
so
north
like, yeah,
if
when
it's
it's
on the
when your
top side?
fingers are above your thumb.
Wouldn't it always be north if it's on the top side, technically?
No. What if it was pointed to the west, then it would be south.
Oh,
Or the east, I'm sorry. Okay,
whatever.
alright. 14. A wire creates a current or creates a magnetic field up on the north side of the wire. So we need our fingers to be on the north side of our thumb, and they need to be pointed up. What direction is the current going? East. Does that make sense to everybody?
I like
You
this.
don't get that one?
Got it.
Okay.
One more time, Joe.
Let me explain 14 again here. So, we know we're looking for the magnetic field on the north side of the wire is up. So I'm going to point our thumb this way in some way, so we can get our fingers on the north side of it. And they're pointing up on the north side. So your hand's going to look like that.
So east.
And so what direction is your thumb pointing? East. Alright. Number 15. A proton moves north through a magnetic field pointed east. What is the direction of the force, that should say proton again, what is the direction of the force the proton experiences? Okay. So, what do we point to the east? Fingers. So a proton moves through a magnetic field, the magnetic field is pointed to the east, so we point our fingers to the east. And the proton is moving north. So what is north? Our thumb.
Sorry.
So what direction is our palm? Down, so the force is down. Okay. Any questions over anything we just did? I'm going to have you guys do the next 15 on your own.
What?
And we're going to have a group quiz tomorrow. I have the answers up here for you guys to check them with me, and I'll come around and help you if you need it.
Can you do 16? I already looked at it. I'm going to
Alright, I'll do 16 real quick.
Okay.
Okay. 16. A wire creates a magnetic field west on the north side of the wire. Okay. This means, actually this is something I should have said earlier. One of the tricks is that if you have one thing going west, one thing going north, the other one's either going to be up or down.
Okay.
So like, it's always going to be east or west, north or south, and up or down. So it's got to be one of each of those. So it can't be like west, east, and south.
Okay.
It has to be north, east, and then up.
Okay.
Or south, west, and then up. Or southwest, then down. Okay, so number 16 here, wire creates a magnetic field west on the north side of the wire. What direction is the current? So the current's either going to be up or down. So your thumb needs to either be pointing up or down.
Okay.
Okay, so creates a magnetic field on the west side of the wire, or magnetic field to the west on the north side of the wire. So if we have, that means if you hold your hand like this, this is the north side of the wire. And it creates a magnetic field to the west. So that's that way. So this works, so that means the current is going up.
Okay. Hold on.
So, it's where your fingers are pointing, that's west. It's not like
Yeah.
where you're not.
How's that north side?
It's
of the
like
line?
if you have your hand at a right angle, this is where your fingers are
Where
pointing.
the tips of your fingers.
Tips of your fingers.
Okay.
How's that north side of the line?
Okay, so again, guys, this is north side of the wire. Your thumb is like the wire, and now my fingers are on the north side of it. Does that make sense?
And what was the answer?
And the answer was up. So since my thumb is pointing up, that's the way the current's going. Do you see how if I point it down on the north side of the wire, it's going east instead of west. So it only works if I point it up. Okay. Why don't you guys train the rest of these on your own? I have the answers. I'll come around and help you guys if needed, and I'll do 2 or 3, and then I'll come check with me for the answers. Now you can turn the camera off here. Actually, let me answer Kira's question first.
Okay. Well, I'm on 17.
I'll just
Okay.
turn it off. Michael, do you have a